New unit. We are moving on from biology and we are getting into electricity. Today's topic is static electricity. All right, we're going to try to do a bit of a lab slash activity here. And normally we would do this in the science lab, but obviously we're going to have to try to make this work at home. There are two things we're going to try to do here. We are going to try to create a static charge on an object. And if we're successful, the second part, B, is we're going to expose that charged object to other objects and see what we get. That's it. Now, you may have done this before, which is great, but you probably haven't done this at home, so this will be interesting. So we need to get some materials. Now, generally speaking, non-metals work, and there's a reason behind this. We'll get into that a little bit later. But what I mean by non-metals, I find plastics work. And if you have it, combs. Now, it's not because they're combs, but it's the material, the plastic, the type of plastic that they're made up of, tend to work really well. So if you have one of these lying around somewhere and you don't have someone that needs it right away, grab it. If not, there are some other materials. This was a happy accident. Water bottles. Water bottles work pretty well. And I'm talking about these sort of sport water bottles. So if you have an empty one lying around, you can use that one instead of a comb. Or if you're lucky enough, you just happen to have like plastic tubes. Now, this is not metal, it's plastic. Like I said, we are trying to find non-metals. They tend to work a lot better here. But this was a piece off of a mini stick hockey net, and it's a plastic tube. If you happen to have someone that works with PVC pipe, if you got a small section of it, that will work as well. Again, it's this type of plastic that we're looking at. And if you're really sort of stuck, I've had mixed results with this, but even pens. Now, again, you might not have as good a charge on these as you'd like to, but if you're stuck, try one of these. Now, like I said, it's about combinations of materials. So we have our plastics, right? Like combs, water bottles, whatever, random bits of plastic piping. They need to be combined with materials. Now, what I found is that basic cloths work, and in particular cotton is a good one. So stuff like towels, like this is an old beach towel that we have lying around. Even my Saunders sweater here, on the inside, it's got this nice sort of, look at that, like the fleecy kind of, but that's cotton as well, that'll work. Fleece type of blanket or throw, use that. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to generate a charge. Now, if we're going to use this as an example, if I'm going to take the comb, and you're going to try to take this, and that's it, like a couple of, like that. See if you can find this stuff. You might have one, hopefully, of these items. And if you don't, experiment. There's nothing wrong with you trying to go out and see, and you may have already experienced or had some idea of what materials would work to give you a static charge. That's what we're looking for. So any combination of materials that can give you a static charge. Like that. That's part A, and hopefully you can find one that has a static charge. Now, like I said, part B is going to help you answer the question, well, do we actually have a static charge on this? And that's coming up next. Part B is we are now going to expose this object that we think we have a static charge on to different materials. And there's three things that I want you to try to do here. The first one is pretty simple. What you're going to do is you are going to just grab a blank sheet of paper, anything. It can be like a piece of newspaper, and scissors, and you're just going to cut up some really small pieces of almost like confetti type bits of paper. And confetti doesn't have to be like circular or whatever, but you want small bits of paper like that, right? And what you're going to do is get a collection of it. You want maybe about, I don't know, like 6, 7, 10 pieces, something like that. You want to have it on some sort of surface. And whatever that object is that you think you have charged, charge it up again, rub those two materials together, and bring the charged object, or what you think is the charged object, and bring that object close to those bits of paper and see what happens. If it's charged, you'll know it, all right? Second test you can do. You're going to need to find a faucet. Let's go. All right, so here we are in the kitchen. And what we're going to do is we are going to generate a small stream of water here, and we're going to try to keep this
stream as thin as possible. Like that. Sure, like that. All right. Nice thin stream of water. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your charged object close, but not touching this stream of water. And if the object is indeed charged, you're gonna notice some change happening here. And if it's not charged, then you'll know it because nothing's gonna happen. Good luck.
The third test that you can do, you need something that's going to roll, and something that's light, and something that's going to roll without a lot of edges that will stop it from sort of rolling. So something like a can I've got here, pop can. It can be any object, but again, something that's light enough. And you're going to set it down on its side, and you are then going to bring that charged object close to it and see what happens. And again, if it's charged, you'll know it. If it's not charged, this can's not going to do anything. So there it is. There is a Google Doc where I want you to start documenting what you've done and the results that you found here and the combinations of materials that hopefully gave you a static charge. If you weren't able to do this and nothing worked, don't worry. I am going to sort of disclose hopefully what you should have observed and start getting into the science of it. Because again, today's topic is all about static electricity.